Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
Nice to meet you.
So, what are the key takeaways from your from the session you have just run?
I think it was a very interesting mix of people that we had, especially on the panel. So kind of understanding and hearing from what the consumers are looking at as the Web3 evolution and some of their expectations that they have from, let's say, platform like ours, vis-a-vis the players who are very newly coming up and building these platforms. So I think that was a very interesting mix of people and kind of different point of views to hear out. So it was very, and I think one of the major key takeaways was that there is still a lot to learn, right? We are not in a state at the moment where we can say this is right or wrong. There is still a lot to understand and learn how this will be adapted by our consumers specifically.
So, as far as technology is concerned, like early stage youngsters are have always been the early adopters of technology, and is likewise the case in Web3. So, what do you think? What will bring the later age groups in Web3 or the similar technology in the next decade of in India?
I think that change will happen by the players who are bringing in these technologies in the market. So two of my peers, they are from that age bracket. They're very young in the industry, and they are building up these platforms. And we were having this conversation that what is their focus area in terms of the consumer or the target audience. So when they start to target that particular audience which you are referring to, I think that's adaptation will happen. So somebody has to reach out that particular audience in that age bracket, who you are not saying in a younger zone, let's say a millennial or a Gen Z. So if you start targeting that age bracket, the reaction and the adaptation will come. But unless that is part of your target audience list, how will the adaptation happen? So I think the players who are actively working on these technologies, bringing them in the market, have to do the work.
As we know that Web3 is more kind of a decentralized thing. So, what do you think? What are the major roadblocks as far as security is concerned in India?
In fact, that's interesting for me. I mean, I would also like to see that, when we are saying we are not just decentralizing the technology, we are actually decentralizing the content, the consumer, right? It's an entire ecosystem that we are trying to decentralize. So I think interestingly, in fact, I would like to see that area being worked upon very actively and aggressively. The kind of regulations which are probably our government will bring, the kind of checklist that these guys are keeping in terms of bringing those platforms, because that sits at the very core of our kind of platforms that we run in terms of brand safety or the kind of user privacy. So I would love to see what kind of security parameters these guys are working around and build up, because that will eventually become one of the top priority actions for them.
In the next decade in India, where do you foresee the brands incorporating Web3 in their marketing strategies and in general in their strategies?
So good, you said 10 years. I think the conversations are that it's happening right away, which is probably not the case. We're still a little far off from the change in technology per se. But I think, when the time is right, everybody will adapt. We have seen that historically always, right? Whenever there has been a change in technology or the landscape of digital, people have adapted to it, both from the consumer side and also from the marketer side. So I think we will go ahead and, what our consumers demand, we will go back and upgrade those set of technologies or strategies to kind of cater to that audience. Because at the end of the day, it's all about the way the consumers are reacting back to whatever we put out in the market. So I think, that adaptation will happen. Some people might be able to do it, faster, and some people might take their time to kind of go back and contribute to it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a good day. Thanks. Oh, sorry.